Honey, we were enslaved for 246 years. 246 years. And when we mention it, when we connect it to the wealth gap, when we connect it to the education gap, to the prison pipeline, to the fact that Black people are 13% of the population, but make up 40% of the prison population, y'all call it harping? Make it make sense. Please, somebody in the comment section make this shit make sense. Make it make sense. That man who got his start from generational wealth is telling people with no generational wealth to stop talking about why they don't have it. When enslaved people were freed, the enslavers got reparations. They got paid for every lost property. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know the enslavers got reparations? Did y'all know that? The people that enslaved us, they got money. They got reparations, y'all. Did y'all know that? They got paid for every lost property. And the property was us, which was human beings, our ancestors. They got compensated for losing the right to own us. And we got nothing. Nothing. 40 acres and a mule turned into sharecropping. Sharecropping turned into Jim Crow. Jim Crow turned into a mass incarceration. And Master P is on a goddamn podcast talking about stop harping, like the chain of evidence just stopped when Civil Rights Act passed. Like redlining didn't happen in the 70s. Like the CIA didn't flood our neighborhoods with crack in the damn 80s. Like the prison boom of the 90s. Okay? When Master P was getting rich off music about that very violence didn't destroy a generation. Come on now. He was right there getting paid while the system was locking us up. And now he got the nerve to act like the system don't exist.
Welcome back, family. I'm back again. I'm glad to see you. Glad you can make it back to chop it up with me. Now, you know who and what this is. This is the channel where we cover everything. If it's popping in the real world or in the internet, I'm bringing it back to you and we gonna talk about it. This is Aggravated Common Sense, and I am Cornelius. All right, so on this episode of Aggravated Common Sense, we taking it to the Black community. Yes, some of y'all feelings gonna be hurt, but I don't give a damn. What we talking about today, as you heard the lady in the beginning, she was talking about getting over slavery. And as for those of you that have been living under a rock, Master P has been getting some controversy for telling Black people to stop harping on slavery and move on and strive for greatness and stop focusing on the past and focus on the future. Of course, you know, Black people don't like to hear that. Like, this lady even went as far to say that Master P himself came from generational wealth, when we all know that's not true. He was in extreme poverty as a kid and he came up off of $10,000. She also said that he was pushing the destructive lifestyle onto the people around him. That also was not true. Master P has always been a hustler. He's been putting out products, selling things to people ever since we've known him. Yes, he comes from a background where people are violent, but he himself has not been somebody telling people to go out there and get violent, do all this other stuff. For the most part, yeah, he got his songs, but for the most part, even when he was in his heyday, he was an inspiration to people to get legit businesses, have ownership, and take control of your own destiny. So I don't know what that lady's talking about him coming from generational wealth. That's just crazy. And we all know the black community does not like that. So they hopped on the internet immediately and proceeded to give Master P what they like to call backlash.
That's some colonizer bullshit. Now, we've got people, we're finding black women and men being strange fruited left and right. We've got Nolan Wells situation. We got Carmelo Anthony's situation. And all these rich, famous black people are mute mouth and ain't saying a damn word about none of this stuff that's going on. They ain't talking about the fact that people's food is being poisoned because they have chefs and access. They're not talking about the fact that Gary, Indiana has no power. But you'll get on these podcasts and talk about how we need to stop talking about slavery because get out of the negative mindset. Talking about slavery is not a negative mindset. If anything, it's a mindset of us understanding and knowing what our people went through and knowing we're never going back there. It's actually empowering to know our people fought hard for us to have things and we have to continue that fight. Not talking about is doing what white people want to do and sweep it under the rug like it didn't happen. But the reality is we are still suffering the effects of slavery today. And when y'all want to get in the comments talking about, well, I didn't own slaves and I didn't benefit, you did benefit. You benefited because when enslaved people were freed, everyone who owned slaves, all these white enslavers, they got paid reparations for every single loss of property, which was the loss of the enslaved people. So you got paid per head, like we were still a material item. Number two, because of that, because of then laws and rules and redlining and keeping black people from being able to buy homes, keeping black people from being able to be in banking, all of the things that y'all did to try to keep black people from having the same opportunities are why we continue to stay behind. All started with slavery. And to this day, we still don't have the same rights. Y'all can think that we do, but we've seen it play out in the justice system. We've seen it played out in corporate America. We see it played out daily where black people still don't have the same access and the same privileges as white people. So to say let's stop talking about it and acting like we're all equal and we're not is tone deaf as fuck and actually continues to show how y'all need to just shut up. If you're not going to say anything that is positive for our people, then just be quiet. Because you clearly don't read books, you don't know history, and you're just someone who got lucky and made it because you had a modicum of talent and a lot of will. But at the end of the day, if you didn't have that and weren't ready to be able to step and fetch it for white entertainment, you would not be where you were today. Just be quiet.
Now, you heard this very uninformed woman right here. First and foremost, she brought up Nolan Wells. We don't even know how he died yet. She brought up um, Carmelo Anthony. He admitted to stabbing somebody in the chest. And now we hear all these text messages come out too. That really made him seem like a real a-hole. So she brought up this. So she brought up that two characters. Then she's bringing up people being hung strange fruited, aka in trees. When one of the people, Trey Reed, came out, he was feeling suicidal. Had text messages found and a documented history that his family reported on. And the coroner came out, said nobody, no foul play. So it's all looking to all signs like he actually did strange fruit himself. Then she's bringing up the other lady that was caught, that was strange fruited from a tree. Her boyfriend got arrested and he was black. Then she bring up the stuff that black people are still suffering from today. Like, what are we suffering from in today? I just don't get it. I am not oppressed. I am not a victim. I ain't never been a victim. So yeah, I don't relate to nothing that these people are talking about. I don't know what she talking about. And then they like to say, "Oh, he only." Then she said he only made it because he had a little bit of talent. Master P wasn't like a super good rapper like that. Master P actually got rich from starting companies, entrepreneurship. He has more than a increment of talent. You know how much talent it takes to start businesses and sell them off for millions of dollars? You know how much it takes to sustain the lifestyle that he's had for the period of time that he's been in? You don't just get lucky like that. You have to actually be putting in the work and you have to be good at putting in the work. That's how that works. You don't just get lucky and make millions. It don't happen. I don't care what nobody says, unless you play the lottery. And I don't know anybody that plays the lottery and actually won millions. So yeah, this lady is full of it. But she wasn't the only person that responded. Another crybaby, this guy right here. He's talking about first. Let's just go over his points one by one, because he thought he was cooking with this.
Master P ruffles some feathers with this.
Negative mindset out of our culture because they still going back to, oh man, slavery, they did us this. And I'm like, you still harping on that.
Because while the black community has always supported and appreciated P's hustle and business acumen, for a lot of us, it feels like a slap in the face for him to
First of all, he's talking about it feels like a slap in the face. How? Their words. And their words are telling you to strive for greatness. How does that feel like a slap in the face?
tell the black community to stop harping over slavery, as if structural racism, discrimination, and systematic oppression in America haven't played a part in black people being behind the ball financially.
How you build a wealth gap on purpose. The GI Bill wasn't administered.
First, he runs to a white liberal. Let's just go to that first. First, he goes to a white liberal to confirm his victim mentality. And then they go to stuff like the GI Bill and like the lady in the previous video talking about some redlining and not getting access to loan to banks and stuff like that. These people are such idiots with that. When they talk about redlining, most of those neighborhoods that were redlined, they were predominantly white neighborhoods. They were actually nice neighborhoods. And then black people moved in. So those neighborhoods were redlined and the property value was low even when white people lived there. But there were still nice homes. They were still nice. They were still well constructed. They weren't damaged and it wasn't trash everywhere. Are you going to blame redlining for y'all actually going out and shooting up the buildings? Are we blaming redlining for y'all actually going out and killing each other? Are we blaming redlining for y'all actually throwing trash on the ground? Are we blaming redlining for y'all not actually taking care of the property? But no, these are just like the popular talking points they like to go back to and discuss and always bring up to try to hold over your head like they ever experienced it. Most people can't even buy a home, but they talk about redlining. Shut up.
Equal black veterans denied home loans by racist banks, denied college by segregated racist universities, denied job training in fields unsuitable for their race.
And that whole
But even if you go to that, all the stuff he said right there, black people have their own stuff. Yeah, they kept us out of that, but we had our own schools. We had our own training. We were builders ourselves. We didn't necessarily need them for it. We had banks, bus lines, cobblers, butchers, dentists. We didn't need them for that. But when you're stuck on 1930, you're not going to realize that.
pull yourself up from the bootstraps rhetoric is something we've been hearing from racists for decades.
Legacy of
And then he brings up Martin Luther King. I don't care what nobody say. Martin Luther King was an idiot. You bring up this dude. First and foremost, dude had you abandon all your black businesses to go and do business with white people. Y'all, black people talking about, oh, white people can't cook. They'll never season their food. Yet he had y'all goofy asses marching, going to do sit-ins just to get a burger from them that you claim they can't even cook right. Just for them to maybe spit in it and give you a burger. You did all of that just to get acceptance. And then at the end of it, before they deleted him, he talking about he done led y'all into a burning building and y'all still over here fighting for the same stuff that he warned you about. No, dumb.
slavery and segregation. I believe we ought to do all we can and seek to lift ourselves by our own bootstraps. But it's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps.
Even that point, you can't tell a bootless man, make your own boots in. Make your own boots. What, you waiting on somebody else to come give you some boots? No, make your own. They made them, you can make them too. But no, everybody want a handout. Shut up.
While I think we all need to achieve, build businesses if possible, and build as much generational wealth as we can, to act like the legacy of slavery, discrimination, or racism haven't affected the black community is a slap in the face.
Take 2 steps forward if you never had to help mom or dad with the bills.
This is tough.
Whose fault is it that some kid has to help their mom and dad with the bills in the 2000s? That's your parents making bad decisions, and now you as a kid got to suffer for it, and you got to not get your education or whatnot so you can help your parents pay bills. That's on your parents. That ain't on a white man. That's on your parents. Your black parents didn't put you in a good position. Don't be blaming the white man for that.
Take 2 steps forward if it wasn't because of your athletic ability. You don't have to pay for college.
Why can't none of them step up right there? None of them are actually smart enough to get a scholarship or anything other than being athletic? Whose fault is that? The white man? The white man's fault. He ain't studying hard enough. The white man, he ain't getting his grades good enough so he can go get a free education. There's plenty of scholarships out there if you're a minority. Why ain't they getting them? Because they too busy sitting around crying. That's why. Master P ain't even the first person to say that. For those of you who don't know, Akon said it.
Well, in Senegal, we've kind of overcome the thought of slavery. We don't even think about it. The only time we think about it, honestly, is when we're doing tours that go to islands. Right.
And with no type of disease, you know, I mean.
I think it's also the art of just letting the past go and moving towards the future. And I think in the U.S., they have this stigma of just not letting go of the past and blaming the past on every mishap or, disappointment. And I think as long as you hold on to that past, it's just a lot of weight that you carry with you everywhere you go. And it's hard to move forward and move fast when you got to, weight on your back. Right. You just got to let it go.
There's also been no reparations. And there's been,
Yeah, but unfortunately, man, it's not like America is going to take the initiative to do it.
So that was 6 years ago that Akon said that. And before that, we had even more people saying that. We had this person right here, Titus Pierce. He was a Democrat candidate for the state of New Jersey. And he also felt the same way. And he was saying this 14 years ago.
Here's the question. You sent out a tweet the other day, and your quote was that you wish blacks would get over slavery. Now, absolutely. Tell me what you mean by that, because you were responding to the racial tension that is discussed on the Princeton campus with regard to Woodrow Wilson.
Correct.
All right, so tell me what you meant.
I'll just be frank and clear. African Americans, we just have a large social stigma, not what society has put on us, but what we've put on ourselves in terms of what slavery has done to our individual subculture. And it is really a degenerative thing. I'm talking where people get up every day and, say in their minds, I'm not going to go to college. I don't want to be a part of a union. Only thing I want to do is, just get, ahead in America by going to work or just getting quick money. And, what I would like to impress upon every African American that may not have an education or may not have had the strong foundation is that education, that knowledge, those experiences are what allows you to get those jobs and hit the requisites to get larger salary cards and things like that.
So why reference slavery? Do you think people are hung up on the past? I mean, what's your message?
Bill, every day, I come out here and I campaign for governor. I'm African American. I go into some of these communities, and the first thing I hear is, sounds like this is all for white people. I was in Newark, literally, and I was talking to some folks out in Weequahic, and I said, we're building a 62-story building over on Lombardy Street once I get into the office. I said, 62 towers will be the largest in Newark's history, the largest building in the state. They really looked at me and said, that's not going to do anything for our community. And I said, absolutely wrong. There are freight elevator operators. There are people who operate the decks. Almost every floor needs assistance and people inside that may not have a degree. But because there is no real education or no fresh blood or fresh knowledge coming into that community, it's just a slavery mentality. Like, the neighborhoods have become the new modern plantation.
Y'all heard that, man. So again, Master P ain't even the first person to say this. We've been saying this for decades. And all right. So after all the backlash that Master P got, it made me want to go see this interview, because I know people tend to harp on the negative things, like black people harp on slavery. But so with that being said, I figured, there was probably some gems that he dropped in here that people overlooked just because they got caught up on something that he said in the interview. So I figured I'd bring it to y'all and we look at the interview ourselves, not the whole thing, but we just review a short part of it and just see what he had to say for himself and see if there were any gems that people missed due to their ears being offended. So without any further ado, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna roll the tape.
Showing up on BET and things of
Yeah.
that nature. But you walk into a third grade class today.
Yeah.
These kids may not know who Master P is. They may not know who Mr. Percy Miller is. If they ask you, well, what do you do, Mr. Miller? What do you tell these third grade kids?
I'm a kingdom builder.
A kingdom builder.
Yeah, I'm a servant. So that's who I am. And that's all they need to know. I don't care about who Master P and Percy Miller. No, I'm here for something bigger than me. It's all about building God's kingdom. And so be able to escape the things that I was able to escape, to be able to have nothing and sell 100 million records. And coming from the projects, making Forbes, that ain't normal. And so I know it's nothing but God. If I ain't had God, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So I want kids to know that no matter what your conditions are, that you can overcome it if you put the work in, because they say faith without work is dead.
Yeah.
So I want kids to know I'm a living testimony that you could actually come from nothing and live the American dream. And which a lot of people say that, and then people see me and say, oh, well, P, you successful. It's easy for you to say that. No. And one time I lived in a 3-bedroom project with my grandparents and 14 of us kids and 2 adults, that's 16 people. And I ain't had nothing. I ate last, but I know that I wanted something more now.
And you hear that. And you hear that, and you're like, whoa, this dude come from the bottom. People make it seem like he's had a silver spoon in his mouth his whole life, and he just saying something that's not possible. And what's funny is when he told them kids that, they probably were inspired by it. But you tell grown adults with the capability to actually do what he did, they get mad at you because you told them to stop focusing on the past, get over slavery.
And hunger drove me.
And he's a living testament. He's actually doing what he says. He's actually doing what he told y'all to do.
It made me go chase my dreams and my goals, and I had to grow and develop. But the wisdom and the education and the knowledge and the people that believed in me, I'm thankful for that. So I want kids to know, stay thankful, stay hungry, but put the work in. Because nobody gonna give you nothing. Nobody care. If you don't make it, nobody care. Yeah. And if you do make it, probably nobody care because it's not them. So you still have to be able to make yourself happy. I think a lot of people look for other people to make them happy. But other people just add to your happiness, whether it's in a relationship or a friendship or whatever. You have to make yourself happy. And for me, I want those kids to know I never did nothing for money. We sitting there at Forbes, everything I did because I loved it. I was passionate about it. I was trying to find a problem. So I never got in business for money. Everything that I do, when you see all the ideas and everything I do, it's never been about money. The money gonna come if you do the right thing.
So you telling me?
Bro, he's spitting nothing but positivity and gems so far. Like, I don't understand. Like, yeah, I don't understand. We're just gonna keep going though.
You're a kingdom builder.
A kingdom builder.
Kingdom builder. I love it. Well, listen, man, let's talk about something else. You're building the kingdom. You got a tour.
Yes.
Cash Money, No Limit tour.
Yes.
And that kicks off in September on the 11th
Yes.
in Houston. Why now? Why do this tour now?
I mean, it's time for the fans. We are growing up, and we want to show the world that cut all that beefing out, man. Let's go get this bread. Let's go get this money. But also, we doing this for an incredible cause. We bringing awareness to mental health, and so which we call it mental strength. And I mean, a lot of kids and people in these underserved communities, they self-medicating. They don't have counselors. They don't have doctors. So we're going to use this tour as a vehicle to spread that awareness and also get people to come and support, you know, our fans, our culture. Because when you look at us as a whole, you know, who cares if we've been through something? Nobody want to talk about mental health. You know, people go through it all the time, but people are afraid or ashamed. And so we're going to use this tour to say, we're going to tell people, you're not alone.
I thought he retired.
Come on, man. I had to come back for my crew. Like, this means so much to us as a whole and everybody that was in that era. If I didn't show up, then that wouldn't be right. So, you know, I'm coaching now, and I'm happy.
But are you going to retire?
Huh? I mean, think about it. So Snoop movie is coming out, right? Snoop movie is coming.
Look, I mean, I can't even lie, bro. Like, what him saying all this right now and exposing all the work that he's still doing, the coaching, the tours, the movies, the food, the shoe company, all the stuff that he's getting into, all the things that he's doing. I don't think he's spending no time of thinking about slavery in order to accomplish these goals. I don't think he has time to accomplish anything of this magnitude if he was sitting around harping on slavery. So again, he is a living testament to what he told you works. But again, black people are just so worked up about slavery that they probably just not even gonna get anything else out of this video besides that.
Coming out next year, and I'm working on my movie. It's the first faith-based street movie. So the churches, the streets, I'm bringing everybody together because, I mean, God took murderers and prostitutes and that asked for forgiveness, took them to heaven. I feel like the church need to see how we evolve. And you can't judge a book by its cover because people do grow up, people do get better. So I want to be able to have this movie, only God could judge me, the masterpiece story, because everybody think they know my story, but they have no idea. So I want to be able to take this to the churches, to the streets, to everybody. And it's going to be a time period from me being 10 years old all the way to 1998. So
it don't sound like you retiring, P.
Man, look, this story is not about nobody but me. This is the masterpiece story. So I know, I mean, to be honest with you, I feel good, man. I got a vitamin company, NoLimit69.com.
Even got vitamin companies. Like, dude is out here a serial entrepreneur, getting into it from every angle, not taking no for an answer, having no doubt in his mind that he can make it, just putting in the work and letting the results show for themselves. Man, I love this dude, man. I don't know what black people talking about.
I'm happy. To be honest with you, and I'm gonna just keep going.
So people who keep going, they don't retire.
I guess not. So go back to basketball after this tour.
Yeah. In what capacity?
So, you know, I was coaching at the University of New Orleans, and I was the president of basketball operation.
Right.
So, but what happened was LSU took over the school now. They had some financial situations, so LSU took over. But I love LSU for Baton Rouge. But I don't know about for turning our school because we have no identity now. The University of New Orleans is now LSU New Orleans, which now is purple and gold. So it's going to be different, man.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to get back into that role for another school?
Yeah, man, I got a lot of schools looking at me that want me to come now, but I'm like, I'm going to wait and make a decision after this tour.
Okay. See how you feel, because you might be on tour again next year. So
come on, man. Nah, man, I got to go back and take care of the kids, man, because I love educating the kids and showing them what I've been through. My coach saved my life. So that's a big thing for me.
I think, man, I really learned to respect about you is your positive mindset. Where you get that positive mindset from?
I guess my grandparents, because even though they was living in poverty in the projects, they was happy. And they was always about uplifting the community. They had the neatest house in the project. The mayor would come and show people off their house, even though they had 16 people in that 3-bedroom.
Kept it clean.
Kept it clean. Like, it's like if you don't...
16 people in a 3-bedroom. And y'all don't want to listen to him because y'all don't want to get over slavery, something that you never went through, man, y'all better stop it and take heed to what he telling y'all.
Keep that room clean, you
Wait,
in
did
trouble.
you have to do chores on a Saturday?
Yeah, I had to do chores, and we actually had a garden. Like, we was the only project house with a garden. I'm like, we live in a project, we got a garden. Like, go out there and pick them trees and fix these trees and water this grass. And it's like, I love that because they made the best out of what they had. And so they didn't let their conditions stop them from enjoying life and making a difference and helping. Like my grandmother, man, she fed the community, like people that didn't have food when she cooked, she gave to whoever lived close to us. If they needed food or if anybody came to our house, she fed them. So I think that's why I feel like my greatest job now is being a servant.
He a servant now. He trying to serve the people, but you know, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. That's what they say, right?
So just watching my grandmother with a little bit of nothing, and I asked God, I say, man, if I make it, you know, I want to buy my grandmother a house, and I'm going to continually give you the glory. And that's what I've been doing. And so I think that's why my sustainability has been good, like making things. I like creating things. So I've never got into stuff for money, like, you know, like I told you, but I like building stuff. So say, for instance, when I create a business, I find a problem. And I like doing that, taking something from nothing, building it, and showing the world, oh, you can't do this? Hey, well, you can't make that? No, I'm gonna show you something. I made these. I got some high fashion function.
Putting in the work, letting the results show. But he told you to get over slavery. So I ain't gonna listen to him. He don't know what he talking about. He detached from the community.
I mean, this can compete with any basketball shoe in the world. It took me about 3 years to build this.
Right. Well, where do you manufacture out of from? Where do they make it?
So I'm making this in the U.S., but you know, if you're gonna mass produce, you still got to go overseas to mass produce. So
you can hit with tariffs then if you do that.
Yeah, you will. But I think now, like a lot of the factories are opening up in these molds now, because that's the biggest thing about this. Like a lot of stuff is going e-commerce, right? But you have to have customers that believe in what you have. I mean, Nike started out of their garage. Under Armour is probably one of the biggest brands, and Adidas now, and New Balance that came up, right? So this brand is called Max Out.
Why Max Out? Where do you get that?
Because we're going to max out, man, everything we do. Like you just talked about Wall Street. You want to go to Wall Street, you need to max out. You want to be a football player, you need to max out. You want to be a basketball player, you want to lift weights. Everybody want to max out. I want to max out in whatever I do.
Right.
Yo, he's dropping gems in this. And the biggest thing that people got out of this whole interview was stop harping on slavery. Bro, this is crazy to me. This man is a wealth of knowledge.
When Nike started out of their garage, like Phil Knight started out of his garage. And I tell people all the time, look, it's not about a color. Like, think about it. Even though when I help Black-owned business, I'm doing that because we at the bottom of the totem pole, but we want to create product for everybody. This product is for everybody, Blacks, white, Asian, Latino, but it don't have too many Black-owned companies. Like, show me how many Black-owned tennis shoe companies out there that's making functional shoes that actually own it. It's not that many. It's a problem.
Yeah.
So when I find a problem, you know, my passion get like, I need to do this. I got to show the world. In the food industry, I realized that we didn't have enough healthy alternative foods for us. So I found a problem. I created Miller Family Food. I said, well, you know, I got to make healthy alternative food, snacks, everything.
Is that based out of New Orleans?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so I was in.
And he's giving us the formula too. Like, he telling you, you need to find problems that you can find solutions to. And that's how you make money. You got to have things that people not only believe in, but things that solve problems. And he's telling you that. I'm going to go watch this whole interview in my entirety. I hope y'all do the same thing. But yeah, let him cook for a little bit more.
Inspired by going to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And, you know, in the Black Wall Street, 1920, what happened to our people. And it's like you had so many successful, rich Black people, and it was burned down. But I met this guy that owned a grocery store called Oasis.
Yeah, A.J. Johnson.
Yes. Yeah. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put my food in your grocery store and I'm going to support you. We support all these other companies, but why not support Oasis and AJ?
He's doing good stuff in the community. And what's been the biggest surprise of the stardom? I mean, you've been in this game for a very, very long time. What's been the biggest surprise about it all?
Our own culture don't believe that we could do it. You know, because they just don't get it. They're like, how you could do this? I mean, like, if I could do it, anybody could do it. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You just got to have integrity and do good business. And these doors will open up for you, building great relationships. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, trying to get that negative mindset out of our culture, because they still going back to, oh man, slavery, they did us this. And I'm like,
oh, this must be where he pissed black people off.
you still harping on that, man. I never harped on that because I can't change the past, but I can change the future. And I think you got to get used to us being successful. And I think a lot of us, we block our own blessings because we don't think that we could do it because we're looking at a color. I don't want this just to be me. I want so many different product brands owned by us, but making it for everybody. Because think about it, when other cultures make products, they don't make it for them, they make it for everybody. And so I want that mindset of our people. If I could change that, that's the way we're gonna bridge the wealth gap.
Man, this dude dropping gems in this video, and he said 5 seconds worth of stop harping on slavery. And out of this whole interview, mind you, is a total of 1 hour and 18 minutes. He spent 10 seconds telling black people to stop harping on slavery and chase your goals, and everything else that happened in this conversation got completely disregarded. That's absolutely insane to me. Yeah, I don't know what people are talking about. This man dropped gems in that interview. That interview was an hour long. He spent maybe 5 seconds telling black people to get over slavery. And out of all the gems he dropped in that interview, that's the one thing that everybody took out of it. That's the one thing that the black community sent viral. Like, it is just crazy to me because, again, you can take a black successful man and you can put him around black people and he can tell them how to be successful. He can tell them the mind state that they need to get successful. He can tell them the path that they need to take in order to be successful. And if they hear something that they don't like get over slavery, then all of a sudden everything else is out the window and we just gonna harp on that part of what you gave us and miss out on all the rest of the game that was given to us. And that's just insane to me. I don't understand it. This interview should be watched by everybody in the black community, and they should watch it in its entirety from 0 to 102. It's a whole hour long. Watch the whole video. That is a great video. Master P dropped gems in that video, and anybody going against this man and causing an uproar and taking it out of context, y'all need to grow up. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it right there. Y'all tell me how y'all feel in the comments. Until next time, peace.